All right, we've reached a brand new section where we're actually going to start talking about choosing your market. How are you going to find out what is the best market to sell in? So let's crack on. Now, the first thing I would say that you need to get out of your mind, and it's a big rookie mistake, it's something I've done in the past, is that you don't need to find the next amazing trend. A lot of people, a lot of my students in the past, they feel like somehow they've got to find the next most amazing product that everybody's going to want, and they're going to put it on their site, and then somehow, everybody's going to pile in and they're going to make an absolute fortune and be well ahead of the curve. Now, you might be a marketing genius, and you might be able to do that, but for us lesser mortals, it's extremely unlikely. So please don't spend a lot of time focusing on what you think might be the next amazing trend, because in fact, what you want to do is to sell into an established market. You are looking for products that are already selling well in markets that are already creating a demand for those products. So take the guessing out of it. You can see that the product's selling well. We'll take that product and we'll also promote it. Now, the way that I do this is I use AliExpress itself, and I also use Amazon. So I'm going to jump over to those sites and I'm going to show you exactly the process that I go through to choose a market, or in fact let the market choose me. Okay, so here I am on AliExpress, and let's choose something at random from the big menu here. So I'll go jewelry and watches, and I'll go keychains. Lots of stuff on here, but basically the thing I want you to focus on is this sort by. Okay, we can sort by best match, orders, newest, price, etc. If you search by orders, then what happens is it shows you the top selling items first of all, even tells you how many orders there have been. So this kind of fluffy keychain thing, which has 11 colors available apparently, is they've sold 15,000 of those, which is amazing. Now you could come back to this in a week and see how many orders there will be this time next week. Maybe it's 17,000, maybe it's 18,000. You're going to get a feel straight away for how much in demand a product like this is. Now, I know this is a kind of crazy product, but it's right in our price range as well. This thing is less than $1. You might remember from the very first slides when we talked about drop shipping, and I talked about looking for products that are actually $4-ish or less, and we will get into this in a future lecture more precisely about how we go and choose our correct price points. But this thing is super cheap, and I could put this onto my website and sell it for multiples of this and make some serious profit. Excuse me. This one over here, these little various key rings here, minion key rings, 13,000 of them. These are crazy products that will sell well, I guarantee you. And all I've done is just clicked at random into some sort of market, some sort of category on here, and it's telling me what I'm selling, so I can see this sells, so I'll take it. Okay, now I'm over here on Amazon, and I've actually gone straight to the dog ID tags and collar accessories, just for example. Now, you know that I'm in the dog niche now, and I want to give you as much information about that dog niche because, it's great to teach you with it as well, but it might give you some interesting ideas. You might want to get involved with it yourself. There's plenty of space for all of us. On Amazon, you don't have the same information that you have on AliExpress in terms of the number of orders, but you do have information about reviews. So just taking this first one here with these various dog tags, if you look at the number of reviews there, we're approaching 4,000. Now typically for every 100 products sold, one person will leave a review. So we're talking about 400,000 of those things being sold. That's maybe even a bit too much, but you get the idea. You can quickly see which products sell extremely well by just using the reviews. Now, the other thing I really like about Amazon is if I click into this, let's say I've got an interest in that and I'm thinking about it. When I come down towards the bottom of the page here, I start to get products that are related to this item. This part here is extremely useful. Now, I now see this iPooch 6 squeaker no stuffing plush dog toy. Now, it's a little bit out of our price range, but I would have never have thought about that if I hadn't have come down here. Maybe I could find that product if I think it's cool and would sell for a better price from another supplier. That said, if I look at the number of reviews, maybe it's not selling great, but it may have just come onto the market. So I can be led by this. I can be led by Amazon. You know, I'm not being restricted. I'm not coming in here saying I must sell this product and that's it. What I do is I come in, I see a product, I think that's quite interesting. Then I'll come down to the sponsored products, the related things, you know, the things that people also bought, if you like, and I'll see where the journey takes me until I find the product that I want. So that's how I do it in a nutshell. I start with a very broad mind and I just let myself drift through these websites until I find things of interest. Okay, and those are the things that I'm going to put on my site. Alright, so we're back on our slide now, and I gave you a brief tour of AliExpress and Amazon and how I use it at a very high level to sort of let me find products that could be interesting. Now the other question that pops up very soon, if not straight away, is should I go niche or should I go general? You know, should I focus straight in on those dog tags and forget about everything else? Or should I go general and just sell stuff from gardening products to dog tags to this to that, whatever? If this is your first journey into e-commerce, which it almost certainly is, I encourage you to go general for the moment, okay? You want to just cruise through those sites, find interesting stuff. It's going to spark all kinds of stuff in your brain and it's going to really get you a feeling for what's going on. You've got a fairly general domain name as well. You know, I've got Tim's Hot Deals, for example, and you know that's pretty general. I can put on any product I want onto my particular website. Now, as time goes by, you will find products that sell. You just will. You know, from here, a few weeks' time, you know, a couple of months' time or whatever, you're going to see products that really sell. And you might find that those dog tags, for example, really sell. And you might end up creating a website called, you know, amazingdogtags.com. And all you do is sell dog tags. But let the process start wide and go towards niche. All right, so the thing you want to think about as well while you're looking at these various markets and the products within them is that people will pay to get problems solved or passions fulfilled. All right, so a problem-solving product might be, say, something that gets the core out of an apple, for example, that much easier in their kitchen. I don't know, stupid example, but you know, it's solving a problem for them, and if it's the right price point, they will pay for it. Passions could be something like clothing for dogs. We've all seen that. Generally speaking, dogs don't need clothes. It's the customers that love their dogs and they're fulfilling that passion, that love for their dog by buying those products. Those are two extreme drivers, the problem solving and the passion fulfilling, that will make your customers buy products in your chosen market. So keep that in mind as we go through the course. Now, one of my niches is the dog jewelry niche. This is not jewelry for dogs. This is, you know, this might be a necklace that a woman wears with, or a man, with a little Labrador pendant perhaps on it because they got a Labrador and they love Labradors. Now, this is fulfilling a passion. It's a great example. It's not solving a problem. But, you know, people will love their Labradors in my example, and they want to show that love to other people or just to themselves. It makes them feel good when they look at it, and that's why they buy. So I hope in this particular section here, there's a lot of information here, I know. Take a moment, perhaps go back through it again, and really think about the markets and the products within the markets. Do not stress it. This is a classic case for what we call analysis paralysis, where you literally spend the next 3 months trying to think of what market and products you need to do. All right, please don't do that. Just go on those sites, AliExpress and Amazon, and just start surfing around. Let your imagination run wild a little bit, you know, and just click. And before you know it, you're going to find a product and you're going to think, wow, that's pretty cool. That's selling. That's in a market that's interesting. That solves a problem, or that fulfills a passion. I'm going to start there. All right. Good luck, guys. I'll see you on the next section. Okay, so we saw in the last lecture how we can use AliExpress and Amazon to find interesting markets. Now you can also use Facebook, believe it or not, and I call this my Facebook ninja trick. Now I hope what you can see up here in this search bar is I've typed in dog, just pay shipping. Now dog is the kind of market that I'm interested in, maybe, and I put in just pay shipping afterwards. Now just pay shipping is a shipping model that I don't particularly like, but basically the idea is that they give away the product for free, in air quotes, and then all you do is you just pay the shipping. I'll talk about shipping models in the coming lectures, but just for the moment, just know that by putting in a keyword, dog, cookery, cat, music, whatever, followed by just pay shipping, will search Facebook for what are in fact adverts from other e-commerce stores selling their products on Facebook. And the interesting thing is, once you've typed that in, you come down to your public posts and you'll start to see stuff like, for example, this dog collar, which has got 84,000 likes, 8.3 thousand comments and 28,000 shares. That is telling you that that product is enormously popular. All right. If I go down a bit further, I've got this dog pendant thing. Dogs aren't my whole life. They make my whole life whole. 10,000 likes, 112 comments. Again, very, very popular. This thing could be of interesting. You might think to yourself, well, maybe, that's been almost seen too much. But so perhaps go over to AliExpress and find a product that is similar, maybe with a different inscription or something like that. Let your imagination run wild a bit. See what you can find. Go down here a bit. Again, another dog collar with 13,000 likes. So you get the idea. Just put in your keyword, your market that you might be interested in, that you're kind of thinking about. Could be anything. And put in just pay shipping afterwards and scroll around Facebook. Have fun with it. And just use it. I have found great products and great markets doing this. And I really, really encourage you to do the same. Alright, so in the last couple of lectures we were looking at how we can discover a market, and I showed you how to do that using AliExpress and Amazon and also Facebook. And now what we want to look at is what are the products that we're actually going to sell within those markets, and how are we going to decide if it's really a product that will sell. So these bullet points coming up here on this slide are key to this business model. Make no mistake, alright? So I want to go through each one. It's going to give you a really good insight in what you need to do in terms of product selection to make sure what you're looking at will actually convert into profit for you. Now, the first key point is price. All right, we are talking here about buying something on AliExpress at $4 or less and selling it at 15 to 20. So a significant markup. Now, there's a really good point about the $15 to $20 here. It's because this is an impulse item. If you're going to buy something for $1,000, you're going to spend time researching, you're going to talk to people, you're going to, you're not just going to buy it just like that. But at the sort of $20 mark, around that area, people will buy stuff on impulse. I'm sure you've done the same thing. Some people maintain that $50 or $100 is maybe an impulse item, and sure, go ahead, see whether you can actually do that. I play around this kind of $20 mark. I feel for me that's kind of like a sweet spot. Now, buy at 4, sell at 20 is key. I've seen people trying to buy at 4 and then sell at 6. And sure, it's kind of interesting because they've got a price point which is very competitive. So they get lots of sales, but there's so little room to create a decent profit, especially by the time you take away your advertising costs, etc. that you literally need to sell thousands and thousands of products to make a decent amount of profit. So all you're really doing is kind of processing orders, It's not a great business model. It's more of what I call the busy fool, rather than, intelligently building up a profitable market. So buy at 4 and sell at 20. The next thing is make sure your product's not too heavy. If it's heavy, you're going to have to pay extra shipping costs, or more precisely, you're going to have to try and pass on the extra shipping costs to your customer, who may well not be willing to pay that. So just avoid heavy stuff. Also avoid stuff that's too fragile. It would seem pretty obvious that if you ship something that is fragile, it could break in transit. So when your customer gets it, it's broken, you're going to get more refunds, you're going to get more returns, you're going to get more customer complaints. So just avoid that. Take away that hassle straight away. When it comes to actually picking the product on AliExpress, make sure that the images are high quality. You've got some decent images there. You'll see some that are like really not very good images, or there's watermarks all over them. Ignore those. An image will sell the product. We'll look at how to add product descriptions very, very soon. But it's really the image. Think about it. When you're on a site, you don't immediately look at the product description. You look at the image. You look to see what this thing looks like. That's the thing that engages you. Avoid all branded products. Okay, basically, as a quick aside here, I don't want you to get hung up on this at all, but on websites like AliExpress, there are sadly some counterfeited products. You know, jewelry's kind of a classic, with writing whatever it is, some jewelry brand on there, when it really isn't got anything to do with them whatsoever. So just avoid it. Take that out. Don't get any problems down the road. There is so much other stuff to sell, you've no need to focus on it. So just avoid all branded products. Can't be found at Walmart. So what I'm trying to say there is, and if you're not in the US, then basically Walmart is the big mega store in the US that sells absolutely everything. What I'm trying to say is, look for an element of uniqueness. Look for something that people haven't seen before, because that will spark their interest. It's like, oh wow, I haven't seen that before. That could be kind of cool. I'd like to get it. My friends don't have it. I don't have it. Whatever it is. But don't just try to sell something that you can buy round the corner. Solves a problem or caters to a passion. I've talked about this in previous slides, so I don't want to go over it again, but basically you are trying to the products that you will sell the best either solve a problem or they cater to a passion. And the last thing is the detail of the supplier. The supplier needs to be a good supplier. That may seem obvious, but basically what you need to do, and on AliExpress they make it very simple, because you can see whether they've got good feedback from other people that have bought from them, whether they've got plenty of stock. And for me, importantly, do they provide ePacket? Now, ePacket is a shipping solution which can expedite the process. The problem is, with a lot of these things, one of the disadvantages, if you like, with shipping from these Chinese suppliers is often they'll take 30, 40 days to ship the product. Your buyers are not going to be happy about waiting a month and a half to receive stuff online. We are so used to these days almost getting like next day delivery. Now, because we're shipping at a slightly cheaper price point, they will be more tolerant. But ePacket enables you to ship stuff in maybe 5, 10, 15 days, something they will be more happy to accept. All right, congratulations. We're going to move on to the next section now, where we're actually going to finally start adding products to our website. I'll see you in a moment.